But I think where I want to start with it is like, you know, we met in college, right? We met in college. How do I explain this? We were popular, right? We were pretty popular, right? We amassed a pretty big following there, you know, just because who we were. But we never we knew each other, but we weren't close, really. We weren't close. Yeah. But it wasn't until after college, honestly, like we just started talking. I don't really know how we started really talking, but we started talking on the phone a lot because, you know, he noticed that what he was going through was exactly what I went through. So obviously, you know, he reached out to me. He didn't have no one else to reach out to, so he could call someone that's been through what he's been through. So, you know, we talk about it. And basically what I'm talking about is, you know, it was kind of, I guess you could call it like fall from grace kind of thing. You know, like you hear the famous guy, you know, they get depressed because of all the, you know, basically we were these facades for so long that we weren't really ourselves, and people loved us for being those facades that we weren't even our own selves. So that led for, you know, that led for me, for him, it led to deep depression, man. Like deep. You know, my last year of college, bro, I was in my room for 6 months, 7 months. I was just depressed, bro. Like really, like I never been depressed. I never thought I could get depressed, you know, but I reached real low point, my lowest point of my life. And, you know, luckily, you know, I ended up in the hospital because of all that stuff. But, you know, I got out of it, and then, you know, life got better. And then he, same thing. You know, we always say we're the same person. You know what I mean? He experienced the same thing. And, like, I told him about it. You know, I told him about it. So he knew. So, you know, he called me. He's like, oh, bro, I don't know what's going on. I'm depressed. I hate this shit. Like, because I was speaking the same language, you know. Right. But for me, I didn't have no one to talk to. I didn't. I just thought I was going crazy. I didn't have my band. No one knew what I was going through. You know what I'm saying? So I just had to face it. But with him, he didn't have to face it alone. He had me, you know? So we were just talk about this stuff and talk about it until he finally graduated. You know, then we just start really talking about life, man. We got really introspective. We just started talking about life. And we're like, yo, you know, we've been through so much. And now we're, I guess, woke or whatever. But, you know, now we're talking about all this stuff. But honestly, we feel a little bit selfish that we're only keeping it between ourselves. Like, what we're talking about, we can share this with the world, and it can help people, man. It really can. The show before this actually was called Kill Now, because we were having a conversation, and we were like, yo, listen, but we got to kill every moment. Like, kill the moment. Kill now, right? So it was called the Kill Now podcast for a long time, because that's who we were. You know, we're aggressive guys. You know, we're very energetic. It kind of embodied who we were. Until we changed to a Roe and Joe show, because we're like, you know, kill now. It's not that marketable. It's not.
Can't do speeches out of school.
Kill now. Who is this?
They're like, that's my.
Who are you? You know,
I love that podcast.
Kill everything now.
No.
Kill
Johnny,
everything.
sit your ass down. Sit your ass down,
Mom,
Johnny.
you told me to kill him now, so I killed everyone in my school. Like, no, bro.
No. Abort.
Yeah. So we had to change it.
Quarantine.
So we had to change to Roe and Joe, and like, cause you know, at the end of the day, man, we don't just want this to be a podcast. You know, we want to build into an entire brand. You know, YouTube and everything, man. Like, be on shows. You know, talk at schools. Like you said, we want to actually build it where it's a platform for me and him to express ourselves. You know, and express our thoughts. And we don't want to put ourselves in a box. You know, that's why we also changed it to Roe and Joe Show. You know, because we want it to be a show. It's gonna be, you know, videos and photos of us living our lives. You know, in hopes that it will inspire someone else to live their life. You know, and that's why we created it, man. Honestly,
that's super fire, man. What was your experience with that? That's super powerful.
No, yeah, like seriously, to bundle it up, like we in college, I wish you guys met us. We were some funny characters, but yeah, like
y'all funny now. Y'all funny now.
Oh yeah, imagine us younger, you know, just
in savage mode.
just a ball of energy. That's all I could like really describe us. But you know, after going through all that in college, you know, trying to figure out what you want because you're on your last year of college, you're like, damn, like I'm not gonna be here forever. And like it's weird because not a lot of people think like that, but you know, like I graduated a semester later, so I saw all my friends graduate early, and like saw how like they didn't even know what they wanted to do with their lives, and I'm like, whoa, all right, you know, reality check. What do I want to do? And then you know, at the time with friends and everything, it's just like there's so many distractions, so many noise. You're trying to figure out, you know, what direction to go, and it's difficult. So I was like, damn, I need someone that's literally, you know, who knows me and like resembles me to talk to. And like, bro, thank God, because we didn't talk it like seriously, like in college, like we were in like the same like click. Like, but we're so like in our own world that it's like the way we got this show started is like, wow, like that's crazy.
Almost the same with me and him.
Yeah, no, seriously, it's like, how did we start? I don't even know, but yeah, it's literally like that, and we're like, yo, we have so many experiences and like just like the following, so like we know people really like this in, you know, like college and like high school, so like let's figure out how we can, you know, express ourselves but, you know, still give people the truth, and that's why we really started all this.
That's so fire, man. And I relate to a lot of that so much because that is really why I started, a big part of why I started this podcast.
Right.
Because I had so many things that I was going through that people just never knew about.
Never.
Right? So it's like, and I felt like I've been through like a lot. Like you gotta go through that checklist. Like I've been through that.
Yeah.
Been through that.
Oh,
been through that.
Yeah, that would hurt.
Been through that, you know, and I'm just like, yeah, that one hurt. Yeah, like, and I started feeling like I could, I could relate. Damn, that's a beast ass. That's a fucking.
He said he's a professional
He carry
bodybuilder.
that everywhere,
He's a
bro.
professional
That ain't a
bodybuilder.
bottle. That's a fucking.
He gotta get his water
that's a 5
intakes,
liter. That's
right? It's about 10:35. He got He got an hour and 30
That's
minutes.
a 5 liter.
Ever since I met him, he's had that. Like,
I fuck with it. I rock it. It's just funny. It's just it's real. I love the color too. That's fine.
Well, it's because when I finish it,
I need to get me one of those.
One a day at least, so I know I'm
That's
done.
fire.
Water, you know what I mean?
So-
So, like drinking all water bottles, you know.
Yeah.
he be guzzling, yo.
No, it's true. You know, I was thinking about
Making
doing
me
the
thirsty
same
just looking at
thing
it.
because I'm not counting the bottles.
Right.
One bottle is one enough. I'm like, yeah, I had a bottle. No, you need more water.
More water.
Need
That's
more
real
water.
fact.
Stupid. Oh, it makes me thirsty now. But I went through so much, and I was like, you know what? And then it got to a point where I was like, you heal out of those different things, and I was even still going through a lot when I started it. But I was like, you know what? I'm starting to go meet with a lot of people, and I'm like an introvert, but I also will connect with a lot of people, like just one-on-one. And I started realizing, like, wow, like I've been there in their situation, and I can relate to them, and I give them my perspective. And not saying it's right, not saying it's wrong, but I always usually have a perspective to give them because I've been through a lot of it. You know what I'm saying? It's like, you deal with some people and they're like, oh, well, I've never been through that. And it's like, no, I usually always have. Like just on some side of the spectrum. So I was like, damn, okay, I want to be able to share my experiences from what I've gone through and what I've learned, which helped me grow into the person I am now. And I'm not saying I'm perfect. And that's the thing with the podcast too, is like, damn, like, people always wait to start those things because they'd be like, oh, well, I'm not 100% yet, so I don't want to share what I learned because I'm not to my perfect self yet. I don't get, like, I've been able to overcome depression. The fact that I, like, made it through what I've been through is just validation enough to know, like, yo, I overcame that shit. I didn't fucking kill myself that time when I wanted to. I didn't do this. I didn't do that.
For real.
To me, that's validation enough to be like, you know what? Now I can help someone.
For real.
You know what I'm
No, for
saying?
real
Like,
though, but for
you know
real
how it is.
though.
Like,
Yeah.
You gotta go
exactly.
through hell to really get to really know.
No,
how
like
to,
for real.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's just the press. So I relate to you guys on that. And I just say keep sending that message out because you never know. And it's always, one big quote of ours that we always have and we share on the platform. We have shirts. It's check on your strong friend. And, it's check on your strong friend, check on your weak friend,
like
check on
that.
everyone. But
I like that.
yeah, it's check on your, because,
It's true.
you just never know. Like we all going through something. And that's another reason why I started this shit is because, and probably why y'all started yours is like, we all going through something, no matter what. Some people are good at showing it. Some people will vent on Facebook about it and throw rants every 5 seconds. Some of us will put on that strong face and that good face, or you look at them and they're fit and they look fine and they're not going through nothing, but they probably are. Like we all are going through something, and we all learn something, and we all have different experience. You can learn from a homeless man in the street. You can learn from a fucking anybody. You know what I'm saying? Like someone high celebrity, right? So I was like, having different people on the show. Learn something that we don't know about, or could teach something that's been through something that we haven't been through about, or vice versa. So kind of just go hands in hand. So I relate to y'all a lot.
Yeah, nah, bro. I just gotta touch on that. Check on your strong friend. That shit hit me deep.
Yeah.
That's crazy. Like you don't even know what you said. Like that's
No, it's
like
it's so true to me.
because it's like. So what happened with me, right? Was I was the leader, right, of my pack in college, if you want to call it that. Right? I was the oldest, So like we talked about this before, but I was a leader, so. I had to be strong, you know what I'm saying? Like, we do parties, like for our college, it was, basically if you weren't in a frat, you weren't getting in the party, bro. Period. You weren't gonna have fun. So, we had a house and we do parties. I was in charge of it, right? So it was like, if I was sad, then it was no party going on. That means my friends weren't gonna have fun. I'm not gonna have that. I'm like, nah, bro, they gonna have fun. I don't care.
You know, put on that strong face.
Yeah, put on that strong face, right? I remember one time, one party we were having, man, I'm sitting in the middle of the party. No lie, I'm sitting in the middle of the party, bro. My chest tight, bro. I struggle with anxiety. My chest tight, bro. Tight, bro. I'm standing there. What's up, bro? What's up? How y'all doing? My chest, I can't breathe, right? But I got it. What's up, bro? How y'all? What's up? What's up, yo? What's up, boy? Right? Talking to talk. I'm not gonna tell nobody because I don't want them to suffer, bro. None of my friends, they told me not. They're like, damn, why didn't you just tell me, man? Like, and I'm like, nah, like, don't feel bad about it. Like, I couldn't tell y'all, bro, because if I went down, the whole pack went down.
Yeah.
Like they were like, when you left, they said when you left it took the breath out of this place. You know what I'm saying? And like that's the thing. I knew that, bro. Like
of course,
like
yeah.
I knew that was gonna happen. And I'm not. This isn't no cock. I know who I am. You know what I'm saying? Like exactly. I know it. He always says it. It's like once I left, I was the glue. That's the word you always use. There. I was the glue. So I knew as soon as the glue was gone, nothing was gonna happen. And like I said, I could not see my friends with that face or that sad face. Nah. So. I'm in, like I said, man, I'm in the mix every night. Did I want to be? Hell no. Did I want to be out there talking to girls? Hell no. But I couldn't show it. But what that does is, man, it makes it worse for me. Because now I'm suffering in private. No one, I'm in my room, door locked, suffering, bruh. He came up one day, man, and we were listening to this song, and I just broke down, man, because I felt that he was in the same place, and like I couldn't talk to nobody else. I couldn't talk to nobody. So he came in and I just broke. I'm crying, bro. I'm like, yo, everyone is fake in front of me, bro. Like no one cares about me. No, and I just finally broke down. Finally, because when you're just a pawn in the pack, you could be weak. You could tell everybody I'm weak. But the leader can't. It's like the coach of a team, bro.
Of course, yeah.
If the coach weak, the players aren't playing the game.
It's because people look up to you to that high standard. But people forget, or you even kind of forget that you're human too.
You even forget.
It's a very big song that I love. It's called Only Human. And it reminds yourself that, and it reminds other people that you're like, oh, I'm only human. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of times you don't realize that in trying to keep being strong. It's just it's a whole lot. There's a lot to it, but that strong front mentality is something I always like to bring up to people, because people always know the person who looks suicidal. People always see that. They see the person who looks sad, but they don't ever see sometimes because the people that I'm very good at it. I could be depressed as fuck. I could be, and you'll never know.
Robin Williams, prime example.
Yeah.
This dude that made our fucking childhood. That shit hit me. Like, out of all the celebrity, I was just like, yo. Yeah. Like, what?
Like, what?
I was like.
Sometimes that humor and sometimes being that strong is kind of like your fuel to help you what you're going through. You know what I'm saying? Like, to be that strong friend, or to be that person that you could relate with others or take in from other people and help. Like, you're using that. Like, I heard one time someone say doing that is actually like you're taking from them. You don't even realize it. Like, you're the bad person in that situation because you're taking from them. You're being strong for them, taking their energy in to help cope your shit. And to be strong, so you're like the biggest taker. Damn. You know what I'm saying? Like,
That's exactly what it is.
Right?
Yeah.
When you think about it like that, like you're doing that to just suppress what you're going through. You're saying I'm being right there for you. I'm being strong for you. I'm going through that, but you're doing that to kind of just get through what you're going through.
Yeah.
And it's like you're actually taking from them. So there's so many different perspectives to it, so many sides to it.
Yeah.
I was always that person. Now, thank God, I try to be very, very open. I found people. I found this guy, my guy Anthony. Before I keep my circle to where I be very open. Even this podcast, I've mentioned, I let people know my story, things I've gone through, how I felt. Before that, it was just always just strong for you just don't know, and then until you fucking just want to lose it.
Yeah. And I have an anger issue, so people don't know because I'm always laughing. But in reality, that's a defense mechanism. Because it's just always like, I'll laugh first before someone gets hit. But I'm laughing, I'm like, you know what I'm saying? That's like the last of it until it decays, until I fucking just snap. But the anger, it's just like, I don't know. The anger is more so not being able to do something opposed to like little shit bothers me. You know what I'm saying? Like, I remember kids would be picking on me or something like that, and I wanted to fucking shake them up and just just wail on them. But my mom, single parent, I was like, I don't want to give this woman no fucking stress. She's already gone through it already. And this at a young age. So I just kept all that shit in. Things I don't want to punch people in the face. Things I wanted to curse out these kids. Don't do it, don't do it, don't do it, don't do it, don't do it. And then that, what in turn translated into fucking bottled up rage. And I'm like, oh, fuck, what am I going to do with this? So I had to figure out a way. And there was no Google at the time for me to research this shit or YouTube. So I said, you know, I'm going to play fighting games. I'm going to lose myself in video games. You know what I'm saying? That was my outlet. Sports kind of helped, but I didn't use it more so for like me. But I did, when I was running, I did run till I exhausted my fucking anger. To the point where I felt like I was flying. I'm like, I'm going to fucking just, whatever that rage is, bro, let that shit out. And so my freshman year, I sucked. Yeah, I was new to the sport thing. But because I went to the doctor and I had like a slight heart murmur, so I was afraid that if I pumped it even a little more, that my heart was gonna give out. So year one, I was like, I'm not taking any chance. For some reason, the anger picked up again. Year two, all the way out, didn't give a fuck. I was like, yo, I'll fucking pass out the finish line. If I die at the finish line, that's it. So that, it just changed the mentality of like the rage and anger. And then I was just like, all right, well, your outlet is either sports, video games, but you can't punch no walls. And that was it. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So I was able to help people who have anger issues, kind of just like, yo, maybe you need to find your outlet to let this shit out. What's your outlet? Because you can't be fucking punching walls and striking girls, because then you're going to get popped in the face. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. That's it. I don't know why that was a thing, but it's not.
And it's all a process. You know what I mean? But for real, like, thank y'all for actually starting that show and doing that and being transparent with it. That's real. Not many people could actually do that. You know what I'm saying? So that's really powerful. Keep it up. You know, spread that message, and continue, like, because that's being the change that you want to see. You know, you don't want people to end up in those situations, so you're being that change. So that's powerful, man. Thank y'all for coming on too, man. It's been fun.